Hey, what's going on there, YouTubes? So today I wanted you all to come along while I make an edit for a Zoom meeting, and I wanted to add a little bit of animation into the edit. So I am using a new plugin. This is going to be with plugins and keyframing. So I am using a new to me plugin by FXFactory. It's called Video Walls 2, $49, pretty reasonable. So I just downloaded that. I've been playing around with it a little bit, and along with this plugin and keyframes, I wanted to see if I can get some kind of Zoom animation for regular Zoom calls. So let's jump right into Final Cut Pro. And I have a Zoom call here that I recorded. This is just a test call. And we're going to be concentrating today on just 4 persons. So although there's 6 people here, we're only going to be using 4 of them for this video wall. For the timeline, we're going to be mixing between 4 people all at once, and then zoom into the one person speaking, back to 4, zoom into the next person, etc. But I wanted to make this a little bit nicer than just regular cuts or just keeping them all on screen. So the main thing here to do is in Zoom, when you're recording it, you need to record it in gallery view, which is where you can see everybody like this, and then you will, in the editing process, zoom into one person. So let's get cracking right here. First of all, we're going to be putting in the generator. So here we have Luca Visual FX. That's what I've already downloaded. And we're going to be using number 11, wall module 11. So click and drag this into your timeline. And we're just going to extend this for now. Okay, so now we have our generator on the timeline. And now you're going to want to come over to the right-hand side to the inspector. If you don't see this, you need to click the inspector button right here. You might be in here, so click on the inspect button. And now we're going to set up the 4 rectangles. This is actually how I wanted it set up. So here you can change the scale. And keep this quite large. I could keep that 100%. The rectangle aspect you can change. We're going to keep that at 0. Rounded corners I quite like. They look quite different, so we're going to keep some rounded corners just like that. And you can change the width, but I think actually just keep them as standard is perfect. And maybe just a slight offset white, and the opacity to 100. So now we need to fill up these 4 drop zones. So first of all is to click on the first square, come over to the clip that you're using, clip right at the start, and then repeat that for each one. So click on the second source, click on the start, click on the 3rd drop zone, click on the start, and click on the 4th drop zone, and click right at the start, and hit apply clip. It should be in sync. Now once we've done that, now we want to zoom inside each of these rectangles. So we'll go back to the first one. I'm going to be using 4 people here. So this gentleman at the top right, gentleman bottom left, the lady middle bottom, and the gentleman bottom right. So for the first window right here, we'll choose this gentleman right here. So we need to zoom him in. To do that, we're going to use scale within. So let's start zooming him up. And we can start using the pan within to move him into position. So I'm just using my mouse wheel to do this. And we can start moving him down. And we can zoom in a little more. Maybe we'll make this 320 to make a nice round number. So now we've got this first one done. We know it's 320, so we'll do the same for all the rest. We'll zoom into 320. Scale within 320. Scale within 320. And then go back to the second window, which is the top right. So for this one, we're going to be using this guy right here. Position him nicely. He's a little bit off center there, so just move him over a little bit. We'll zoom in a little bit more for this guy since he was sitting a little bit off center, so we'll try and center him. Move him up. See if we can move him. Okay, that's good. And then we'll do the bottom left clip, which is going to be the lady, so she just needs to be moved up. You know, she didn't have much headroom, so let's put it right on the edge there. Maybe zoom in just a little. And then the last one, this was here, and then over to the right. Okay, so now the thing about the video wall is it doesn't import the audio, so you need to import the audio separately. So we've got the clip here, we're going to choose audio only, and we'll drag that right in. Because we selected the beginning of the clip when we chose which clip in the video wall, then it should align to the audio pretty well. So if I press play here.
What do you think? Should he log off and come back in?
I would say probably.
Bad.
Can you say something else, Costas?
Sure. It's great meeting everybody here, and I'm really looking forward to having this video shoot.
So once we've done the edit, we can change this audio slightly. Okay, so we've got that in now. It looks pretty good. If we wanted to, we can add a background. Actually, we can use a generator, built-in generator. Let's do that. Which one do I like? I kind of like this one. We'll put this one underneath. Let's see if we can change the color. Ooh. Let's keep it at blue, and we can either keep it at the motion, but I like a still image. And I think we will. Can we change the saturation here? I think so. There we go. So a little bit more subdued. So that's looking pretty good to start. And so now what I want to do is when the individual speakers are speaking, I want them on their screen by themselves. So I can either do a straight cut or I can do some animation. One thing, if I did a straight cut, I would need to blade this, which would then mess up the whole video wall. So if you wanted to blade this, you would first need to put this module into a compound clip. Otherwise, when you blade it, it'll go back to the beginning. It's kind of confusing. Actually, I'll give an example here. So if I blade this now the videos have all gone back to the beginning. You see that? So this is the same. So it's reset everything. So we don't want to do that. So you can either make a compound clip. In fact, let's do that. We'll work within a compound clip. So new compound clip. And now we can do everything from inside here. So now if we blade, and the only reason you would blade is if you wanted to cut something out, which you may want to do. So now if we blade, it's keeping on the video. It's not resetting it. So let's get rid of that. Okay, so let's start going through it, and we'll see when the person wants to speak, and we'll start zooming into that person. So pressing play.
What do you think? Should he log off and come back in?
I would say, it's your thoughts.
I think I'm going to just delete.
Some of us are just more clear than others.
Yeah.
I just figured out how to change.
Let's just cut it all right here. So we're going to Shift Command B to blade all of this, and we're going to delete all that out.
Hey Cliff, do you have a background that's not the big?
Okay, so this is just a test Zoom call, by the way. These people are just getting into setting up for a Zoom meeting, so that's why I'm using this clip. So
hey Cliff, do you have a background?
So Cliff is the gentleman top left. So let's keep it going.
Do you have a background that's not the big Korea logo, just so everyone?
So now we know Cliff is about to speak.
Backgrounds, or are you not in a good?
So right here, where there's a gap, I want to change this to only Cliff. So I'm going to click here. Right before, I want everything to move, and I'm going to add some keyframes. I'm going to keyframe the position and the scale. And now I'm going to press Shift and forward key, which is going to move forward 10 frames. We do that just so that the keyframing is always the same amount of time. So now move forward 10 frames, so now I can zoom in on Cliff and center him up. So I know it's right around 220% to zoom. And I can use my transform box to put him into the right position. So we should be right around there. Click done. Let's take a look at that. And let's go back and see what that looks like. So right there. That looks good, apart from the little whoop whoop, the little whoop movement it makes, because it's using, right now the keyframing is using smooth keyframing. We want to change that to linear, so we would press on transform, and here you can see the actual keyframe lines. We are going to right click linear, and the same at the bottom one, right click linear. Let's try that again. So that looks good.
A good location.
I prefer to stand out a little bit more, Mike. No, I'm just kidding. No, my background's crap.
Actually, what I'm going to do as well while I'm here, I'm going to change the, go into the compound clip, I'm going to change the borders to black. I think that might stand out better. It stands out better on this. Well, let's go all out. Let's just change it to a funky color. Let's go dark red, just for fun.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, so
Good location.
he's
I
talking.
prefer to stand out a little bit more, Mike. No, I'm just kidding. No, my background's crap.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately.
You have
So now, as well as doing the smooth transitions, I can also do a straight cut. So
That's unfortunate.
you have
so we know the lady starts speaking there. So right here, before the lady speaks, then we'll click on here, and we'll add another keyframe, zoom. Actually, while we're here, let's open up text edit. So now we can write down the positions. So let's make this just a standard 916, and this one -550. And in text edit, I'm just going to put this in just so for future reference we know what this is. So it's 916 and -550, and the scale was 220. So now when we come back to this channel, we know exactly where it was. So remove that. Now we can add our keyframe.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately.
Did I add a keyframe? I did add a keyframe already right there. So for position and for scale, and this time we're just going to move over one click. One click, go back to 100%, position them back where they were, which would actually be 0 and 0, and then again change to linear. It shouldn't make a difference this time because it's an instant cut.
you have
So this one, because I only moved one frame, I didn't shift and use my right arrow, which did 10 clicks in this one. So this is just one position. So
you have can you just put one of those other pictures on? Like me, like I can't get rid of my sofa.
Well,
so now we know. Unclick that. Now we know he's going to
from
talk again.
Alberta, so how about this one?
So let's go back here.
Well, I'm from Alberta.
So we wanted to come in just before here, so we go back about 10. Now we're going to add another keyframe here, forward 10. And now we can enter these in based off our text edit. So it is 916 -550, and the scale was 220. And there it is. So let's take a look at that.
Well, I'm from Alberta, so how about this one? From Alberta, so how about this one? Are we good? No?
That looks okay. I didn't quite like how it changed when he was changing the background, but that's not a big deal.
Alberta, so how about this one?
Follow
we
that.
good? No?
And he's still talking.
Good? No?
So he's still talking.
Place going.
Here, I don't really have much.
Just over the big career logo, just because.
So here we have
It's like big.
the first gentleman talking. So let's go back 10 frames here. Click here and here. Go forward 10. Now go back to. Actually, now what we can do is we can just change the X. Come over and find this guy because we know it's him talking. This should be minus 916. Before the other gentleman was plus 916, so this should be minus 916. If I put this into text edit, the top right would be, you'll see, start seeing a pattern, minus 916, minus 950 with a scale of 220. See how that looks?
Blank one?
I think I'd prefer what you currently have.
So that looks pretty good.
Blank one?
I think I'd prefer what you currently have, just over.
And again, this is all preference on how you do it. You can obviously, you could have come back to the 4 of them.
Well, that is fine too, but I don't know that.
So we know here it goes back to the other guy. So right here I can add a keyframe and a keyframe, and let's just go 1 click this time, so it's going to go straight back. And I'm going to change this to 916, so let's get rid of the minus.
Oh, that is fine too, but I don't know that. The only issue is when you have those in the background. As soon as you move,
And then here we can, let's go back to all of them together. So click, click,
you
click,
just do move.
1 click forward, change everything to 0, scale to 100%.
Move, it cuts your face off and stuff.
It's all good. I'll leave it like this.
Okay.
Yeah,
As long as you're comfortable with it.
Listen, man, I'm good with whatever you guys want. You know that already. I'm good.
Are you on a laptop, Cliff? Can you raise?
Yeah, I can. The problem is I wear progressives.
So this is all looking good.
Hold on 1 sec.
You're gone.
Actually, just
If you click on that,
So here's the
you put
so here's the gentleman bottom right talking. So let's do a transition to him.
can you put in the
So we'll start right here. Plus, plus, and then we'll skip forward 10 frames. So shift forward arrow. And now we want to do 220. And start changing him up here. And this one you're going to see again is very similar. This time it will be minus 916 by 950. Oh, sorry, by 550. 550. And we want to do the linear. Sometimes you just need to look at all these. I don't know where they all are. Where the right ones are. That should work. See what that looks like.
can you
I'm
click-
here.
That look good.
Can you
I'm
click-
here.
That look good. So let's do bottom right was minus 916, 550 with a scale of 220.
Can you
I'm
click-
here.
So that
Can
looks
you
good.
put in the black little box where your name is? If you click on that, why don't you put vice chair next to your name?
And the audio is still a little above, but once we get all the
Is
transitions
Sean
done,
one of those
we
guys?
can change the audio
No,
afterwards.
those things will be added after the fact.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, okay.
Good to see you guys. I got.
So now let's go back to full screen, all 4. Plus, plus. Move 1 over. Go to 0, 0, 100.
Oh, okay.
Good to see you guys. I got to do this now.
That's better.
It's looking good.
Casual. Should I take the tie off?
Yeah, business casual is good.
And then if you have pauses in the the Zoom conference. So for here, for example, I can press Shift Command B. We see that there's nobody talking. He's just taking off the, and we can cut all that out. And then when you do that, now right here, I don't need to do a keyframe. I can just, he's talking.
So, can you?
So the lady's talking. This time, there's no keyframing here.
So, can you?
In fact, we could actually reset everything here. Get rid of any keyframes. And now we can zoom in. So to hide the cut, we can go.
So,
we can do a straight cut. So make that 220. And if we look at our text edit, we should be able to figure out. It should be, I think, 916 and. No, I don't know. Too much math. Let's just have a look. Okay, so it should be 916 plus 916 plus 550. So that should be a straight cut.
Good.
So, can you guys give us a?
So it's 916 and 550. Scale was 220. And now I notice that this lady here has the black frame here, so she's not quite in properly. So let's fix that inside here. I believe she was the third one. Move that down a little bit like that. Out of the compound clip.
Business casual is good.
So, can you guys give us any framework? We had just had a little chat. Cause I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, so listen.
So that's looking good.
I don't know if you want to.
Yeah,
so now we know Costa, which is the person to the right. So we can do a transition here. So let's do a plus, move over 10 frames. And now let's just move this to a minus 916. Boom. So that should be a nice transition.
Yeah, so listen,
There we go.
can you just give us, Michael and gentlemen here, what are we, like this?
Okay, so that's the general idea there. So once we've got all that sorted out, we can add our titles. This one is quite a nice one, so come back to the beginning, zoom into the timeline.
Hey Cliff, do you have a background that?
So right here, it becomes full screen. Change this. The colors, like that. Change the title line color. Could be this.
Like background, or are you
something like that. You get the idea.
on like backgrounds, or
There we go.
are you not in a good location?
Looks good.
I
I mean, it doesn't look good. It looks terrible, but you get the idea. You can use your favorite plugins there. So that's about it, guys. So once you've done that, then if you had to, you can come down and change the audio, move it around a little bit to make sure that
a
it's
little bit more, Mike. No, I'm just kidding. No, my background's crap. No, my background's
okay. So that's it. So go through this quickly. Put it on high speed.
Do you have a background?
I think it looks quite good. The animation makes it look quite different to a lot of videos you see online. And it doesn't take too long once you get used to it, and once you get used to the position and scale numbers, then you can end up doing this pretty quickly, and it just adds that little bit more of a, just makes it stand out a little bit more from the crowd. So, and using straight cuts and using the, like, look at that, looks quite nice.
I think I'd prefer what you currently have.
Okay guys, that's about it. This was just a quick kind of tutorial. I'm kind of learning this myself, plus it's also a way for me to learn OBS. So I can do cool transitions like this. So thanks for watching. Hope this is helpful, and have a great day. Bye.